I don't know what's worse, Steeler Nation. Feeling this bad after being hungover today from a massive session on the sherbets, or watching yesterday's game and our Steelers this year lose. That score's wrong, by the way. Lose 30-13. Hangover for half a day, sleeping after sherbets, or the Steelers just plain old are just terrible. Let's talk about it. G'day guys, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. If I sound a bit tired, it's because I am a bit tired. I went out last night, had a few sherbets at a work party. Like I was saying to you guys in the live chat, it was fantastic. But the show must go on, and I want to do my reporting or my videos on our Steelers. Yesterday's game, I've had a few moments to think about it. We are just not a good team. And Mike Tomlin pretty much summarized everything at its best, at its core. We are fundamentally a bad team. That's what he called himself. That's what he called the Steelers, or fundamentally a poor football team. And you know what? Finally, I guess for some people, maybe Mike Tomlin is giving, taking blame for a few things. Now, this won't turn into a Fire Mike Tomlin show. If you guys believe that, write it 10 times if you want to. Look, I've said it numerous times. You guys have your opinion. I have my opinion. It's fine. But we're a very poor team right now. So, and you can't escape that. You can't escape watching the Steelers play yesterday, being up by 13 points, maybe not going for a field goal and then punting the ball away. And then the other team comes back to be, I think it was 20-something at the half, or it was 14-13 and a half, and the Colts got the ball, and they scored 30 unanswered points. It's not acceptable. It's not. In any football game, any team game environment, it's just not acceptable. So there does need to be blame on all these coaches like normal. And yes, it's been a pretty rough year. Maybe the Steelers are not a good team. Maybe we're not a good team. Like I said, I've had a crazy day today. Well, not that crazy, just a really long day. Trying to get through the hangover, trying to have a lot of water, a lot of sleep, a lot of rest, and that's all my own fault. It's all my own doing. I knew it was to be expected to have a good time. You go out, have sherbets. The next day you feel terrible. And I'm almost 34 years of age, and I do it anyway. But sometimes you find that with our Steelers. You get yourself all hyped up, all ready to go. But this game, I wasn't that hyped, to be honest. I was like, Trubisky's playing. We haven't been playing good football. The team is, like Mike Tomlin says, fundamentally poor. You just didn't expect too much from this team. But then they show you something. They show you 13-0. They show you going down the field and getting a touchdown. Or they had the pump block, and then we missed a kick, stuff like that, right? Chris Boswell, he's fine. Don't worry about him. He'll get through it. He's one of our best kickers to ever kick the football. They show you something. Connor Hayward came around the edge, blocked a punt. That's now 2 punt blocks that we haven't really celebrated because we've lost the game. The week before, I think, was Killebrew versus the Patriots. We blocked them, or they blocked them, and then we haven't celebrated that. So shout out to the team's unit. And also, you know what, guys? Shout out to the Colts. Gardner Minshew, from memory, had 3 TDs and over 250 yards. Their running backs, they ran for about 170 yards on the ground, and they were guys off the practice squad. Their team is getting ready for a playoff run. Our team had a chance, I believe, in week 12, like a 90% chance to make the playoffs. And then each week that we lost against the Cardinals, we lost against the Patriots, we lost against, when I say we, the Steelers lost against the Colts. Each week, the playoffs got further and further away. This team is in like freak out mode, state of emergency times 5. And I was hoping to see a bounce back like we'd normally seen with our Steelers. And that's why I'm not going to go into the fire Tomlin stuff or fire Austin, but I do believe there needs to be some kind of change. If that's next year, that you go into the draft with a mindset of getting some offensive line players that want to play for this team, want to block. I don't believe Mason Cole is the guy. I don't believe you have in good backups. We saw Rudolph. Why did Rudolph even play? Rudolph played with the last 2 minutes to go. No idea why he played there. If you're going to play him at the half. Give him a chance to come back in meaningful football. So that's an error on Mike Tomlin. Yes, I like him, but there are a lot of errors on Mike Tomlin. That's for sure. And I'm not going to point out and say, you're right, I'm wrong, whoever. We don't get anywhere that way. But there's a lot of criticism that needs to go his way because in this sense, when you don't put in Rudolph at the half, but for some reason you put him with 2 minutes to go, what's the point? There is 0 point to that to me. Trubisky had a really bad game. What we have seen with him in the last 2 years is absolutely nothing. Nothing. One of the worst quarterbacks maybe to ever wear the black and the gold. Possibly. He just doesn't have the talent. He tries to step up into the pocket. He tries to run away from things. It breaks down. He hasn't got the best arm accuracy. He missed Fryermuth. Now, he had some good passes, some good runs where he'd step up and he'd find DJ down the field for 15 yards, but then it would all fall to pieces. We haven't got good quarterback play. Still, the Steelers have really bad quarterback play, even with Kenny Pickett, but at least Kenny Pickett is fun to watch. He's fun to watch, and he gets the job done and wins games and has that stat of like 4 or 5 game-winning drives already. And he has a better record as a team player winning football games with the team. His stats might be bad, but with Kenny Pickett in there, the Steelers have a chance to win. I'm not saying like Big Ben always rely on 7, but at least he gives them a chance to win in the fourth quarter. He tries to come back. Right. There's so many problems. And I'm only going to name a few more. I'm going to go for the next 4 or 5 minutes. There are so many problems over this team. Quarterback play, I think Najee, I think he might be on the outside looking in next year or the year after. I don't know if they're going to give him a contract. Maybe you give Warren a contract. Najee, I love the bloke. I really do. When he makes a big run and he's running downhill real fast and strong and powerful, I think he's awesome. But there are other times where he runs right into a brick wall and can't move any kind of football. He's not seeing the right lanes, and it's hard to watch. It is. He might be on the outside looking in. DJ, I've tried to stand up for DJ. DJ might be on the outside looking in too. Pickens, I like Pickens, but they're not using Pickens enough. Now, this offense they've made a few mistakes this season. They really have. And this comes back to Mike Tomlin as well. They try to save face and hold the ego in check and try and be we're all cool, we're all good, and there's no worries here, mate. It's all good. They tried to plug up the ship with the holes up, and then as they did it every time, a new hole appeared. It was always a leaking boat. They just tried to mask it as best they can. And sometimes in my reality too, and how I do my content and how hype I am, maybe I've tried to mask, the team as well, because I thought they could have a chance, but they don't. They really don't. The only way now, and I might start this series, is if we do a playoff watch, where we find out what team needs to lose this week. The Steelers got to win, and we figure out if we can get a 7th or 6th card. The Ravens won today. I saw bits of that game while I was trying to get through my hangover. They should be the AFC North champions. Well, the Steelers can't get it now, I don't think, because they've now won 11 games. We can only win 10. That's what's one more than us. The Browns won their football game today with old man Joe Flacco, who came off the couch. The Cincinnati Bengals are doing really well, going 8-6 with Jake Browning. And our Steelers are falling behind. We're just falling behind, man. And you know what? Maybe it's about time. We haven't had a losing season, including Mike Tomlin, I think, since 2003. I don't believe the Steelers have ever been last in the division. Like, never been last in the division. So maybe it's about time that this happens. And if we lose the next 3, I'll still be here watching them. If we win the next 3, I'll still be here watching them. If we win 3 and we sneak into the playoffs, fantastic. If we don't, you have a happy new year and we're all good. But there is one more thing I want to bring up. And I just think that overall, I think the injuries have really sucked. I think this team, you can't, if you expected us, to go Super Bowl and you call the team a bad team, we suck, we're terrible, but you still expect Super Bowl, then I think that's different, right? This team isn't going to the Super Bowl. They're probably never going this year to the bowl, but we always had some hype behind that. But the injuries have not helped us. They have not helped the Steelers whatsoever. The middle linebacking play was kind of fun, kind of awesome to watch, with Cole Holcomb playing good football, physical football. Seeing him cover someone, hit someone, or seeing Quan Alexander play. And now you're down to Atlanta Roberts, who's trying his best to be out there, being physical, legally, right? And I will try and end with a Kazi point too. But you see those guys out there playing physical, but then they're missing the injuries. Trenton Thompson went down, he's our safety. Minka went down, he's our safety. Kazi went down for the ejection, and I'll get to that in a minute. And then the other bloke is Michael Walker. I think he was out there most times. These guys are from the practice squad. Now, every person deserves a chance. Every single player in my books. I don't care if you're rated number 1, first overall pick, or if you're like Jalen Warren, undrafted. You go out there and you play the game. But the Steelers have had some fundamental. If Mike Tomlin talks about fundamentally we're a poor football team, we've had some fundamental or some really bad injuries on this defense. So it's all kinds of crazy. Anyways, here's my last point on Kazi. If you go and watch that's his first hit, the first legal hit, that was fantastic. And I might even make a video in this itself because some people don't last the 11 minutes of this video. That's fine. So I might talk about this in a separate video in 2 days' time. So you'll see me repeat myself. But that hit the Kazi had on, the legal hit, the first one, on the receiver over the middle, like he figured it out. He saw him catch the ball. He absolutely nailed him in like a spear tackle. Like it was awesome. It was like Rhino or Goldberg from the WWE. It was fantastic. Clean tackle. He gave the receiver enough time to protect himself, and he speared him, and it was great. Right? That's what football should be. We should use that tape to show people how to tackle. It was hard, physical, awesome, and just a great football play. Now, on the other side, what sucks is all the media is going to talk about this Kazi with the illegal hit. Now, this one, I'm still trying to figure out where I have where I stand on this issue, right? In some aspects, you could let the guy catch the ball because he's diving with the ball. You let him catch it, and you don't run in shoulders or head first or whatever it may be, where one side's going this way, one side's going the other way, and you hit. And you let him catch it. And you play two-hand touch. But what if you do that every time? What if you let him catch it, and it's to win the Super Bowl, and he's diving for the end zone? What are you meant to do? You're meant to stop him, right? Now, it looks really bad. I went back and watched it. Kazi does lead down with his shoulder and hits him. But here's the big thing. I think the controversy is all around is that should Kazi have been ejected? I don't think so. As bad as I thought it was a flag at the time, when he hit the player, I was like, he dove into him the same time he was diving as well. The NFL these days, they're going to flag that point. They're going to. They're always going to flag that. The next step was the ejection, which I didn't agree with. There was zero warning. They ejected him. Kazi out of the game. Steelers feel flat. I think the Colts went down there and scored. We lost Minka, and the game ran away from us. And I've still got 27-13, but it was 30 to 13. The game went away from us at that point. So you can't blame Kazi on a bang bang play and say he's a thug, he's terrible, he's awful because he's on purpose. No, he's trying to play football. In the same time, he will get fined a lot of money for that. And he got ejected. I don't agree with the ejection. I really don't. I thought Kazi's first tackle was awesome. One of the best tackles I've seen in about 4 years because this league is so soft. It's so soft. You can't touch the quarterback. You've got to hit him between here and the chest. You can't do anything else, right? You can't do. They're going to ban so many things like the hip drop or the tush push or whatever. They want to move this into. I feel like they're trying to move this into flag football in the next few years. If they ever do, I ain't watching. If it's flag football, not for me. Alrighty, guys, that helps me get all my news off my black and gold chest. Like I said, I've had a few sherbets, so I'm going to go have some dinner right now. I'm going to chill out. I hope you guys enjoy the video. And, yeah, the next few days, I'll try and cover the AFC North. Might talk about our teams there. I might talk about the Kazi incident again because I think that's interesting because the ejection, I think, was not warranted. It's poor. And I really like the other tackle, Kazi tackle. So he's going to get a fine. But this team overall, man, in a nutshell, we're a very poor team. And maybe it wasn't a long time coming. I know there are people out there saying, yeah, we should have fired Mike Tomlin years ago. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But at the end of the day, we can't change anything. We can't get too angry. All we can just is just follow our team and see what happens. Will they make the playoffs this year? Probably not. They very well could get a losing record. This might be the first time having a losing record in a very long time, in about 21 years or whatever that may be. It could very well be like that. Maybe the Steelers need a bit of a overhaul, a refresh, a reset. New coaches, new philosophy, new. Well, you know what? Not even new philosophy. Maybe going back to the old Steeler way philosophy. Getting some running backs or getting some offensive line that want to run the ball. You watch the Colts game or the Ravens game today. They really ran the ball quite well, and they won the game. All right, that's it, guys. I'll see you later.